night WMMA scene now, coming to you once again. As always, I'm your host, Chuck Stevens. Guys, this time we're going to be going over a bit of fight news, some latest fight announcements. We haven't done one of these in a while, so let's get started. First off, right away, Bellator 201. Kristina Williams is stepping in for Bruna Ellen, who is now injured, and she's going to be facing Valerie Letourneau at Bellator 201, and that's going to be happening on June 29th. Letourneau's 9-6. Williams is 2-0. Williams made a big debut last year for Bellator. She beat up and bloodied, boxer turned MMA fighter Heather Hardy. Valerie Letourneau, everyone should be familiar with her. Former fighter in the UFC. She went from bantamweight to strawweight. Now she's found a home at flyweight in Bellator. Former title challenger at strawweight against Ji-Yeon and Jacek. That was a pretty good 5-round fight. Kristina Williams is coming off her second consecutive pro win over Emily Ducote, and that was a pretty good fight in herself too. She showed a lot of what she is capable of at 125 compared to Hardy, where she just straight up mauled Hardy. Letourneau is coming off a successful Bellator debut against Kate Jackson. She's 35 years old. Predictions for this fight, early predictions, it depends on which Valerie Letourneau shows up. She looked good against Kate Jackson, but that was the first time she had looked good in quite a while. Now against Kristina Williams, she's going to be going up against another kickboxer. The last time that Letourneau faced a kickboxer was still at flyweight in the UFC. The first ever UFC women's flyweight fight against Joanne Calderwood. Some people might blame it on the uniform she was wearing. She was wearing that loose, like, tank top looking, like jersey, like almost like a basketball jersey, and it was messing with her, and she just looked absolutely terrible against a kickboxer in Calderwood. That was best Calderwood had ever looked in a long time, and that's probably the worst Letourneau had looked. So here she is now against Williams, who is a very competent kickboxer. Not the fastest looking, but she does have fast hands, and her kicks are very effective. So, jury's out on this one. It depends on how Letourneau looks. If Williams wins, it'll be probably Williams' third straight upset, and only her third pro fight. I'm still going to go with Letourneau by experience, but don't be surprised if Williams really brings it. Okay, next up, we're going to stay with Bellator. Gilbert Melendez's wife, Keri Melendez, mostly known for kickboxing, but she's going to be taking her second pro MMA fight, also on June 29th at Bellator 201. She's coming off her MMA debut with a 47-second TKO at Bellator 165, and I didn't realize it was so long ago, but that was back in 2016, so it's been a year and a half, 2 years since she last fought MMA. I guess she's been facing a string of injuries. And she's going to be facing a girl, Tiffany Vales. Apparently this girl is making her pro debut as well. So good to see Keri Melendez back in action again. Looking forward to what she brings to Vales. No idea who she is, what she's like. I'll try to do some more research before the fight. So for now, I'm going to go with Melendez by KO TKO. Moving into UFC women's mixed martial arts fight news. Melinda Fabian versus Ji-Yeon Kim has been slated for UFC Fight Night Singapore on June 23rd. Kim's coming in 7-1-2. She is 1-1 in the UFC. She lost her first fight at bantamweight by decision against the very tough Lucy Pudilova, and then she rebounded with a fight against flyweight turned strawweight turned back to flyweight Justine Kish. That was a pretty not the most entertaining fight, but it's pretty interesting to watch how Kim dealt with Kish. A lot of people felt Kish won that fight. I felt Kim did enough to win it. You know, she always brings a powerful right hand. Her nickname is Fire Fist. She's going to be taking on Melinda Fabian, who's 4-3-2. Fabian we last saw at the Ultimate Fighter 26 finale, where she drew against Deanna Bennett. UFC chose not to keep Bennett. They chose to keep Fabian. I'm a little surprised by that. Maybe they thought Fabian had more upside to her. And plus, she had been competing on the Ultimate Fighter with an injury. She actually had been eliminated in the first round of the Flyweight Ultimate Fighter tournament by Rachel Ostovich, losing by first round submission. I see this fight going the distance. I see it going Kim's way, and this will be Kim's second. If she wins, this will be Kim's second straight win in the UFC, second straight win at Flyweight. Should be enough to get her ranked. Not getting my hopes up, but it should be enough to get her ranked. Fabian, if she wins, probably won't get her ranked. Either way, I see this fight going to decision, but I'm going to call it for Kim. I'm partial to Korean fighters, if you don't know by now, having lived there for about 3.5 years. So moving on, we're going to go into Road FC. Road FC is having their first women's atomweight bout of the year. Their first couple fights were, what they have? They had they had a bantamweight fight, and they had a heavyweight fight this year so far. Road FC reduced their number of events from 12 last year to 8 this year, so they're a little bit slow in catching up as far as the women's fights goes, but they're finally booking an atomweight fight. Road FC 48 coming to you from the Wonju Gymnasium in Korea. We have the Wonju hometown girl, Yeji Lee, coming in at 3-3, and she's facing from Japan, Mika Arai, who's coming in with a perfect 3-0 record. Now, Yeji Lee we last saw last August, also in the Wonju Gymnasium. She lost a decision against the far more experienced Tomo Maesawa. That showed, you know, it really showed what Yeji needs to work on. Yeji Lee was actually supposed to fight back earlier this year. Actually, I think it was in December she was supposed to fight against Pan Hui. She had to pull out due to injuries. Yeji Lee is now finally graduated from high school. She is now a college student, and she'll be facing the undefeated as of yet Mika Arai. Mika Arai we last saw in Road FC. It was a while ago. Last year, actually. I think Road FC. Well, I'm not sure of the number right at the top of my head, but she won a decision against Yoon Ha Hong in her pro debut. Yoon Ha Hong came in so much overweight that, according to Road FC's scoring system and missing weight rules, that if Yoon Ha Hong didn't get a finish, Mika Arai was guaranteed to win. So Mika Arai got the win because she lasted the distance. But it was one of those situations where she lost the fight but won the result based on the rules. So can't blame her for that. That's not her fault. She since has gone on to win 2 fights in Deep Jewels. She beat another fighter around her level, and then she actually beat Pan Hui, who is a lot more experienced than her. So this will be an interesting fight to see whose experience against more experienced opponents has served them better. Yeji Lee, whose 3 losses have all come against vastly more experienced opponents, or Mika Arai, who is, you know, a little bit older than Yeji Lee by about 6-7 years, but has also been doing very well so far. And that seems to be it, what I have for tonight for this news, May 30th, 2018. Guys, let me know what you think about these matchups in the comments below. Hey, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And as always, What are you waiting for? Subscribe to WMMA now, the fastest growing women's mixed martial arts platform on YouTube. Guys, have a good night. What up, guys? One fight I forgot to mention is coming on July 29th. We have in the Rizin promotion in their super atomweight, which is like 110, 108, 110, something like that. We have RENA versus Kanna Asakura 2. I can't believe I forgot to bring this fight up. This is going to be a rematch of their fight from New Year's Eve for the Rizin Super Atomweight Tournament Finals, where Kanna Asakura choked out RENA in, I believe it was the very first round. Now, RENA has not fought since then. Asakura has fought since then. RENA is going to fight in shoot boxing like earlier in July, but it's going to be an actual MMA fight rather than a shoot boxing match. So she's supposed to fight Asakura, win or lose. I'm guessing whoever they match her up against in shoot boxing, she'll beat in order to say, well, yeah, now she's got the win, so now she's going to fight Asakura again for the rematch. And apparently this fight is going to be for the one super atomweight world title rather than just the tournament title. Yeah, I mean, could it be any more obvious that Rizin wants RENA to be their champion, you know, to be their TV star, their champion, the one that's supposed to boost their ratings or whatever? It's pretty obvious once they made, I mean, the last Rizin event, after Asakura won, RENA went up into the ring and, you know, asked for a rematch, blah, blah, blah. And even the Japanese fans on Twitter were like, that's BS, you know, earn your way back. But you know what? Nobuhiro Sakakibara, the president of Rizin, you know, he was kind of very wishy-washy on that. Like, he didn't want to say anything that would tick off the fans. But he basically made it obvious that this fight's going to happen. And whether or not RENA wins or loses, he doesn't care. Because, obviously, he's just out for ratings. He's a Yakuza scumbag. So this fight is happening. It really shouldn't be. It's kind of pointless because it'll only have been 7 months since the last fight. And RENA really showed nothing for Asakura. She looked absolutely scared of the takedown, which Asakura got, and worked from there. But anyway, this fight's going to happen. I forgot to put it in the original video. It's a little bit of a bonus. So, hey, guys, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to WMMA now, once again. And have a good night. For real this time.